Hello everyone, let's see what is happening on the charts. Ethereum. In my last video I said if Ethereum doesn't head down to make these bottoms here 19 on 20th of July, then it is likely that it will continue up following this line. And then what I did, I lifted this fractal to show you this trend line. And I said on this trend line the next possible tops for Ethereum are 22nd of July and 24th of July. And then I also said, however, Bitcoin's top is on 21st of July and 23rd of July, so we are keeping in mind these days as well. 21st of July and 23rd of July on Bitcoin. I also said that the daily time frames are suggesting 21st of July top, because this is the last daily time frame that has such a high probability of closing on green, and from there on we're entering bearish territory for Ethereum historically in terms of a cycle. I'm not saying that it's going to be all red candles from now on, but I'm saying that in terms of a trend, in terms of a cycle, 21st of July had the highest probability of a top, given that the 17th of July did not materialize. The 17th of July was my original date. That got invalidated, so I said the next dates are 20th and 21st of July. That's it. Last date. Metal is the wealth element of Ethereum. Water is an enemy element of Ethereum. So, wood is a support element for Ethereum on 24th of July. It has 61% historical probability of closing on red, despite being a support element, because the horse is illness for Ethereum. And the sheep is its own sign, so nobody does well on their own sign. And that was the reason for my bearish forecast for July, by the way. But the sheep is bullish for Bitcoin, so we will see if yesterday was not the top for Ethereum, 21st of July, which was the highest probability, because we don't have any such high probability days of 64%. The future daily time frames for some time, for a long time, all the way until 6th of August, don't have such high probability green closures. And this has been a historical top for Ethereum. After that, the new cycle, after that it's heading down, and then in August the new cycle will begin. So, looking at the notes here, in 2019, the 24th, the equivalent date to 24th of July has been a top. So, we're still not 100% confident right now that the top is in. This is simply the highest probability. But we cannot be confident until we see what happens on 24th of July. Only after 24th of July we will be more confident that the top is in. Because you know that usually after every top there is a double top to squeeze those early shorts. So it's too soon to celebrate, but that is it. My point is that 21st to 24th of July, that is it. There is no more bullish momentum for Ethereum in terms of cycles. We get the odd green candle or anything freaky. I don't know. Everything is possible. I'm not saying 100% guarantee that this is the top, but history is showing that 21st of July had the highest probability of a top. So that is Ethereum for today. We'll see what happens tomorrow. Tomorrow again it will show whether Ethereum is following this fractal or whether Ethereum is following Bitcoin's fractal, because Bitcoin is expected to be very bullish tomorrow. And I have forecasted already for Bitcoin that I'm expecting pumps. I expected the pumps much later today, 22nd of July. It's already pumping, and look at that, both fractals are red for today and it's already pumping, and this can be interpreted that Bitcoin is heading for a top on 24th of July. It's gearing up that way. I'm expecting pumps to come in the last quarter of the day tonight, and then tomorrow higher. So on the fractal, 23rd of July is higher than 14th of July. Here it is. The dates don't exactly match, they're very difficult to put on the right stick, but here is the 14th of July top. Hold on. Here it is. So 23rd of July is expected to be higher. Don't forget that these fractals are posted there just for visibility, so you can see the sticks clearly. They're not indicating price, right? I've never said those fractals indicate price. I'm saying that the relationship between 22nd of July and 23rd of July is higher. And here 23rd of July stands out as the highest date. All other fractals by now have been invalidated, and I pointed in the previous video because these are eclipse fractals. The eclipse fractals got invalidated because the eclipse cycle topped already. Here is the eclipse. Here is the eclipse cycle. I have showed it in previous videos that the eclipse cycle tops were much earlier. 19th of July was the last eclipse cycle top. That's it. But I pointed in previous videos that in the Chinese cycles have a bit more up. So the Chinese cycle one top is yesterday, 21st of July. Let's see if there is a top on 22nd of July. I don't think so. Yes, there is no historical top on this on days equivalent to 22nd of July in this cycle. However, there are historical tops on 23rd of July on days equivalent to 23rd of July, and there is one historical top on days equivalent to 24th of July. So 23rd and 24th of July for Bitcoin tops, and that is it. Chinese cycle is done as well. Chinese cycle tops on 23rd or 24th of July. And that means the same for Ethereum. If Ethereum didn't do that dumping there, which is its own cycle, it means that it's gonna head here and it will make a final top on 24th of July. If it will, it may decide to dump straight from 21st of July, because I pointed the daily time frames that they're topping on 21st of July. There is no more bullish days until the end of July and into August as well. There is no such high probability green closures next to each other as well. I'm not saying that all days until the end of July will be closing on red. There are some green closing candles, but that is of very little interest to me right now. All I want to know is where the pivots will be. Okay, so this is it for today. We're waiting to see now whether Bitcoin will be topping tomorrow or on the 24th of July. In terms of weekly time frames, we're gonna count the weekly time frames from 24th of July onwards, because in my previous video for weekly time frames I covered the 24th of July. I said week closing on 24th of July is expected to be higher than week closing on 16th of July. or 17th of July. So just count 7 days back, and they're working out 17th of July and 16th of July. So we're expecting high closures. At the moment, that is not materializing yet, but as I said, I'm expecting pumps tonight on 22nd of July, and I'm expecting higher tomorrow, 23rd of July. And then there is a chance that the top comes a bit later on 24th of July. That is it. That is it. No more, because I have a cycle that I have back tested, which is giving me very high probability of a red closure on 25th of July. So look at that. Today is 22nd of July. 70% probability of an uptrend after that. Right? So that is the foundation for my forecast for tomorrow, 23rd of July, to be higher. And then on 23rd of July, we have 64% probability of going higher after the event as well. What was that event? Oh yeah, Venus squaring the nodes. So 64% probability of closing on a green tomorrow, 23rd of July, and 64% probability of the trend up continuing, which means that the top is more likely to be the 24th of July. I need to update my Twitter followers about that, but I may decide not to update them actually. Because I posted 23rd of July top there. But this is strongly suggesting with 64% probability that the immediate trend up, right? It can be only for one day. And then on 23rd of July, we have another aspect, Sun square Neptune, and again, very high probability of closing on a green tomorrow, and only 55% probability of the trend up continuing up. And this is it now. Sun opposition Pluto taking place on 25th of July. 69% probability of the daily closure to be red, which is quite a high probability. So 25th of July is a red day in my books. And then the trend after, 71% historical probability of the trend after 25th of July to be a downtrend. So this is my data, guys. If I happen to be wrong, that is it. There is nothing more I can do. You know, I have worked so hard to backtest all of these aspects and to build my opinion, and despite that, this July has been incredibly difficult to nail. But this is how it goes. We're in here for the long term, and we will endure the punches of destiny. July has been a disgusting month for me, despite all of this hard work that I've been putting in here. Whatever I say, it's not gonna be that. It's gonna be the next day. It's not gonna be exactly the day that I'm saying. It's been fucking infuriating, but I will survive it. August is a much better month for me. Fuck July. So, Mercury retrograde cycle is showing that the last week of July can actually continue up. But let's see what happens on 24th and 25th of July. Whether we'll get a top on those dates. And if we don't get a top, we can expect a little bit more higher up in July. However, this cycle so far hasn't been that accurate, so we will see. You know, I don't want to dive into the daily time frames right now because it will make the video very long. I just wanted to tell you that this is the most serious research here. This is the most serious aspect here. Sun opposition Pluto, that is a very serious aspect, and it's already giving us a downtrend before the event. So before the 25th of July, it's giving us 69% probability of a downtrend. It's not 100% probability. So everything is possible. I know that the chart is saying that 30th of July will be the top because of the FOMC meeting, and they're saying that the FOMC meeting is expected to be the top and the dumping will be after that. We will see. That is possible as well because I have some daily time frames around 27, 28th of July. I have some green daily time frames. We'll see. But in terms of cycles, the cycles are done. The cycles are topping on 24th of July at the latest. 23rd or 24th of July at the latest, the cycles are topping. So that is it for today. Yes, I just wanted to share with you something esoteric about this week, the nakshatra Pushya. This is the house of Hemingway in Key West. How many of you have been there? I was there in 2019, and I wish I could show you more pictures, but my microphone, where it's plugged, it's not allowing me to access actually my pictures in the USB slot. I have some really nice pictures from the backyard of the house. So this house was actually given to Hemingway completely free as a gift. Some rich guy there from Key West just was fond of Hemingway, and he decided just to give him this house as a free gift. Hemingway was born on 22nd of July, and he was extremely successful. He became published writer. The minute he put pen to paper, he became a published writer. He became world known. He became extremely successful by really making very little effort. All he was doing is just drinking and writing and partying, really. He had quite a good lifestyle. And you would think this guy, he has everything. Like, if somebody gives you this mansion as a gift, wouldn't you just enjoy living there and be just grateful for what you got? But actually, Hemingway committed suicide at a very young age. I think he was in his 60s when he committed the suicide. So what this is showing about this nakshatra of Pushya is that these people just don't care about money whatsoever. They're not materialistic people. People born in the nakshatra of Pushya. Pushya is considered the most bullish nakshatra in our personal lives. There have been official statistics actually for the most successful people, and the 19th of July has actually been voted as the luckiest day to be born on, 19th of July. That falls in the nakshatra of Pushya. And then all of those dates, 20th, 21st, 22nd, 23rd, 24th of July, all of those dates are super bullish esoterically. That is the most bullish nakshatra. They attract material prosperity so easily with very little effort. And my explanation for this from all of my observations in life is that they do that. They attract financial prosperity because they just don't care about money, those people. I mean, you can see with this big house, the guy was depressed and he killed himself. It's crazy, isn't it? Like, no one in their right mind would actually do that. But yes, just this nakshatra attract money most than anybody else because they don't care about money most than anybody else. Money and love are very tricky energies. The more we want them, the more we need them, we repel them. And when we start chasing after money and love, they start running away from us until they drive us in total despair. And the solution is just stop giving a fuck. It will come when it comes. When it's our own cycle, that's when money and love will come. And this nakshatra proves it. If you want to be successful, if you want to make money, don't be so attached to money. Don't be so motivated to make money, because it doesn't. Money is a crazy energy. It just comes to us when we don't give a fuck. So that is what I wanted to share with you about Hemingway, born on 22nd of July, and the whole of this nakshatra of Pushya are just very blessed. So even when I was bearish for July, I started the month on a bearish note because of this scientist on it was such an unfortunate coincidence. I had my Venus cycle that bottoms on 16th of July. So that's a good cycle. Here it is bottoming on 16th of July. And next thing, on Twitter, I'm coming across this post, and it says that the solar maximum top will be in the middle of July. And that is it. I took that as a sign of a confluence to my forecast for 16th of July bottom. Because when we have a solar maximum, we have a bearish mindset. When we're bombarded with the solar flares and solar storms, that's what means. That's what solar maximum means. Is we get bearish. The people's moods become really disturbed, and that is why I said, "Wow, this is an excellent confluence to my 16th of July bottom." And yes, I just went for it. My bias very much was built with the confluence of this forecast with my 16th of July bottom, and that screwed up my forecast for July. Not only this top didn't happen in the middle of July, but we have had a solar minimum month for the whole of July. Every day it's a solar minimum, solar minimum, solar minimum. No solar activity, no solar flares. There are a couple of solar spots of sunspots, and they're not producing any flares whatsoever. They're not developed to produce flares. So this forecast was very wrong. It feels good having someone to blame, I must say. But the fact is fact, I got very influenced from this forecast because it predicted directly that the solar maximum will top in mid-July. Here it is. Okay, so we'll catch up with you tomorrow. I don't want to make the video too long. There are so many more things that can be said. Bye for now.